So let's say Maul tomorrow says some shit about Joe. How do you feel? Like, does it get hard?
I think there's potential to cover it in a way that I would cover it. People want to see. I developed a voice. I don't film the people who people care about their opinion. I am the person. That
but
people
don't
care
you
about
feel like later on, right, in life?
No.
Like when you're gone, right? And this show goes up and you become a whole different thing. You don't think people go back, yo, how did this guy get famous? And they go like, yeah, he just was sucking Joe this whole time.
That's your opinion of what
you don't think that?
No.
You are now watching Gotham City Live. Join us as we take a deep dive, pause, into the abyss of American absurdity where lunacy and debauchery take center stage.
Joe Budden's #1 nut hugger, Danny from the Stop, gets confronted. Yeah, that's my Danny from the Stop impression. You fucking with it? Anyway, Danny from the Stop gets confronted by, what's his face? Space Ghost. You remember Space Ghost from the Mav Hoffa podcast? You remember that nigga, how he shysted Mav Hoffa out of legendary footage from the podcast? Shit you can't even find anymore. You can't even find the Joe Crack episode of My Expert Opinion anymore because he took it. He stole it. I'll get to him later. Pause. Anyway, points were made, allegations were hurled. Okay, allegations that ought to do with dick sucking. Okay, nut hugging. I hate to say these words. Particularly at the top of the video. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into all of it on the other side of this thing. Don't go anywhere.
Look at what I do as an expansion of all the shit I do, Shipple. From helping you to
we got
Flip
Heineken
to
coming. He was
Matt
in the
to
background.
everybody. I am a multifaceted person. I've got more than just
and a good businessman.
talking about Joe and being under his ass.
Ooh, it's getting crazy for my nigga Danny out here. It's getting scary in these YouTube streets where niggas is talking to each other like that. He's just fighting words. Where I'm from. Listen, I don't know what angle this guy Space Ghost is coming at him with. Pause. I don't know if it's just him getting annoyed, like a lot of other people are annoyed. A lot of people look at Danny's content and are annoyed by how often he talks about Joseph Robinette Budden. I get it. If you look at this guy's YouTube channel, you just take one glance and you're gonna think it's a Joe Budden fan account. I mean, honestly, the guy always talks about Joseph Robinette Budden and the happenings over there at the JBP. I mean, just look at this shit. It's Rocky trying to destroy Joe Budden. Joe Budden and Ian address Queen's Flip. Joe Budden walks out on episode. Joe Budden calls Rory a liar. I mean, it's just like, Jesus Christ, guy. You act like there's nothing else going on in the world. We damn near on the verge of having the first black woman be president, Jack. And you always talking about Joseph Robinette Budden? So I get the argument. I get what people say. But on the other hand, this could also be hate. And I'll explain why. But let's get into it first.
Don't you feel like later on, right, in life?
No.
Like when you're gone, right? And this show goes up and you become a whole different thing. You don't think people go back, yo, how did this guy get famous? And they go like, yeah, he just was sucking Joe this whole time.
That's your opinion of what
You don't
we're
think
doing.
that?
No.
And you making money?
No, because I think that's your perception, whatever your life experiences are. You've mentioned that term mad times. But nah, I feel like just like academics outlived his Warren Chirac's legacy, it's like you grow and you evolve.
Yeah, but you said that when I went up
on like these like that.
Yo, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. These is fighting words where I'm from. These is fighting words. I mean, I don't know if your man wanna record a podcast or shoot a fair one. This nigga's acting like he wanna throw hands like dick sucker. I'm not gonna be too many more dick suckers, fam. Honestly, I mean, I'm not gonna be one, but 2, 3. I mean, at some point, somebody's gotta get snuffed. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Dog, what are we actually doing right? I would stop the podcast at this point and be like, yo, dog, what are we actually doing? For real. Because you talking real spicy. Anyway, Danny, I think he's starting to get the message. He's starting to get what this is and what type of time your man is on. So he responds with the appropriate energy.
I'm
talking about things that podcasters say.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
If Heineken goes on the podcast and says, "Yo, I don't, Mav didn't pay me," I'm allowed to speak on it.
No, I'm
that's
not
me being
disagreeing
negative.
with you.
People are interested in that, and you go on your channel, you look at the most viewed videos. It's gonna be the breakup stuff, and y'all know that. That's what pays y'all bills. Oh my God!
Get up, Space Ghost.
Get up.
10, 9.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about, Dan. That's what I'm talking about, Dan. Fight back, Dan. Pause. Like, come on, B. Don't just let these niggas talk to you any kind of way. Especially that nigga. This nigga Space Ghost is a glaring hypocrite. Let's just be honest. Since Mav Hoffa fired him, or whether he left of his own volition, I don't know. Anyway, it's nothing but grievance for them. It's been nothing but grievance for him. I guess, what is it? Esso? Heineken? They've done a lot of grievance podcasts. I don't fuck with Mav. Mav fired us. Mav is foul. I mean, it's been a lot of that with them over there at Bag Fuel, okay? It's been a lot of grievance level podcasting. And frankly, you could say it's as annoying as what Danny from the Stop does. I mean, both of you guys, both of these platforms rather, they're just looking for the meta. They're just trying to fuck the meta, find a way into your algorithm, okay? I know it as a burgeoning YouTuber. I don't want to just talk about the same person or the same people every day, but I got nothing against people who decide, you know what, this is the meta, this is what it is, this is what gets the most views, so let me try to finesse that right now until I figure some other shit out. I get that, got no problem with it. Listen, live, get your bag however you get it, but you gotta remember, in the process of getting that bag, you're always gonna run into niggas that's gonna hate. Niggas that don't do nothing but just sit on the sideline and hate. Because look at this. Danny from the Stop is now recording podcasts with Uncle Shammy. Okay, Shampoo, aka King of All Blacks. I fucks with that nigga. I've been listening to that nigga since I'm a young kid when he was on the Howard Stern show. Brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Why not? If he's with it, why not? But you might be asking yourself, why does this affect Space Ghost? What does Space Ghost have to do with that? Space Ghost was doing the exact same thing. He was recording content and podcasts with Shampoo. He was doing that Poo in Space bullshit podcast that they had over there. Again, I don't even know if they still do that shit. It was the most uninspired, boring podcast you can possibly imagine. Shampoo saved it because he's so fucking entertaining. So now Space Ghost is looking at Danny like, dog, you biting the hand that feeds me. You about to take food off my plate. You get money on my block. You heard? He's feeling away right now. I'm sensing a lot of envy and jealousy coming from Space Ghost. And once you keep that shit in mind, everything he says starts to make more sense.
I'm not a whore like y'all. See the difference between me and them? I'm not a whore.
Be honest, does this look like the man who lightens up a room when
views?
No.
I don't suck YouTube money. I'm not a whore.
What is your fascination with? You
That's
mentioned
you,
you said
because you
said
want
that
Joe.
like 80 times for porn addiction.
If Joe walk in here right now and be like, yo, Danny, just
I really wouldn't.
Nah. Somebody gotta get snuffed. You gotta snuff this nigga at this point. It's just too many dick sucks being thrown around. Way too much for my comfort. I mean, are you fucking serious? I'm not letting this nigga talk to me like that. And if you gotta snuff this nigga and not air the episode, that's totally fine. But he can't get that off. You can't let him sit there and get that off, especially given the fact that this nigga has been riding Shampoo's coattails for mad long now. It went from the Shammy in the Streets, he filmed that. You know what I mean? He went to the Poo in Space, that utterly pathetic and moribund podcast. At least Danny could say, yo, I started a platform by myself. It's just me talking into a microphone. Okay? What the hell have you ever done by yourself in front of the camera or on the microphone?
I just think you should broaden your horizons. Look
I
at
just
other
think I should do what
podcasts.
works.
Don't be under Joe's.
I
Just
just-
broaden it out.
Oh man, don't
broaden it out.
stop doing
crazy.
what got you there.
It's like
I mean,
you had to ride people's nuts too.
I
Like,
didn't ride
yeah, you
nobody's
did,
nuts.
though.
Are
Like,
you out your
Man,
mind?
Hopper's
gay,
nuts.
Are you crazy? I worked with him.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't,
That's the case
you didn't
about-
Hoffa?
Shampoo, stop it.
Yeah, I've had it. I've had it enough. I can't deal with this level of flagrant disrespect. And now with the passive aggression, yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. He's always been trash ever since he was on Queen's Flip's platform. And Queen's Flip tried to give this nigga his own show. And that shit was bad, okay? Him and just talking with the homies. You can't come up with some sort of engaging shit to say with you and the homies? Are you fucking kidding me? So guy, you've never done this thing successfully and you're criticizing somebody who is, I don't know, moderately successful as a YouTuber. I mean, if you could manage to carve out a living doing this shit, I gotta respect it. I gotta respect it. And I do have a level of respect for Danny from the stop. He does talk about Joe Budden a lot, but that's the game. That's the game. I can't knock him for that. And a word to the great Hove, you can't knock the hustle.
Yeah, cause you can't knock the hustle.
Anyway, that's gonna be it for me, folks. If you made it this far into the video, I fucks with you and your entire family. May your firstborn son have the strength of a lion, you heard? Hit that subscribe button, tap in, stay in tune with the kid. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Is this hate or is it actual constructive criticism? I'ma holla at y'all.